go watch the previous video. The history of Central Park is fascinating. It used to be a settlement called, or a village, town, called Seneca Village, and that was a black community. After black people were emancipated from slavery, a lot of them in New York started buying land and houses and owning businesses and basically thriving in Seneca Village. And as Mayo Americans do when they start feeling fragile and worried that other people are going to treat them like they've been treated, they decided that this black community couldn't thrive. So they basically evicted everybody off of that land with eminent domain. And I think that's when a large portion of the black community was made to settle in Harlem, which I think was a Dutch settlement at the time. I'm not sure. But anywho, so I astral traveled to Central Park because I wanted to check out Seneca Village. And first I kind of settled into Central Park as it is today. And I felt the spirit of the land. And then I also felt the guardians of the park, which were a mixture of ethereal beings that used to be indigenous people and black people that used to live there. And the land itself that is Central Park, the land, the trees, the vegetation, is very happy to be there. Happy to be a lovely protected green patch that is maintained in New York City. And it's happy to provide some beauty and healing where it's needed and where it's accepted. Then I switched over. I was like, that's not it though. That's the energy of the land and the trees and the park itself, if it were to not be so busy and inhabited by human beings. And the human aspect of Central Park today feels gentrified. It feels like gentrification and entitlement. And I don't know if that's because of the way it's managed. I'm not sure. Or if it's... I don't know. That's just the human aspect of the park feels like gentrification. And that actually, I think, makes sense for New York City. Or for a lot of New York City. So, I was like, while I'm here, let's just check out the rest of New York. So I wanted to check out New York City, or the 5 boroughs, not instead of the whole state. Because I know upstate New York is very different. Upstate New York feels a little culty and kind of foreign and weird to me. But the 5 boroughs area, the city, feels like the people feel resilient. And depending on where you are, the energy is very different. Like, the city as a whole feels like it's a house of cards, and it's overstimulated. There's there's a lot of energetic scarring, or what I would call energetic PTSD from 9/11. A lot of that energy is still there, which is where a lot of the resilience comes from as well, because of trauma that that New Yorkers have endured and come through. And areas like Wall Street and areas that rely on capitalism and elitism to exist and be maintained, those areas I kept picturing like a needle, and everything is on top of the head of this needle, just waiting for somebody to come along and sweep the needle out from underneath everything for it to just come crashing down. So I also, when I pictured Wall Street, there was like this crack going down the middle of it, and it's just waiting for the one thing to hit it just right for it to just come tumbling down like a house of cards. So capitalism is teetering on the brink of collapse because, I mean, Wall Street is like a major hub of capitalism in this country and in the world because of the stock exchange. And between that being so fragile right now, because we are at the end stage of capitalism in this country, and then the scarred energy of 9/11 that still exists there, and then there's just, it just feels like the whole place is very fragile and on the brink of a crash out. And that's it's just a crash out. And I love New York City, and I love New Yorkers. I was born in New York. I love New York City. But the energy right now is very fragile. So, if you live there, it would benefit from some land healing. It really would. It needs a little stability right now. So, okay, this was a long one. Sorry. But I love you. Stay weird. Bye.